Flosstube friends, welcome back to my channel, Pages and Stitches. That's spelled pages, the number 3 stitches, both here and on Instagram. My name is Kelly and I'm psyched to be back with you today to give you my October update. Today is Tuesday, October 31st, so happy Halloween to everybody who celebrates Halloween. If you don't celebrate Halloween, happy Tuesday. whatever your fancy. And anyways, I'm here to bring you my Flosstube update number 24, I believe, which is my October update, my October wrap up. And thank you so much for joining me today. I, of course, have to say a special thank you to everybody who's, been subscribed to my channel and they come back month to month and keep up with me and chat with me in the comments. So, of course, thank you so much for coming back. You guys are very near and dear to my heart. And then I also have to say a big giant thank you and hello to all the newbies out there. I just recently came back from the Queen City Stitch Retreat and I made a bunch of new friends. And a lot of people found me here on YouTube and on Instagram. So I'm so pleased that you're here. I really am. I had such a good time at that retreat. I enjoyed meeting all of you so much. And I hope we get to keep up with each other. And I hope you like what you see here and you want to keep coming back for more. And then to everyone else who has found me, not through the retreat, but just, through the interwebs and you're here, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you too. So as you can see behind me, I'm also a quilter. My passions in life are stitching and quilting. So I have my Flosstube channel for my cross stitching, but then I also post a Quilter's Corner update every month in addition to a Flosstube update where I talk exclusively about quilting. So if you are a quilter, if you are curious at all about the craft, if you just want to be nosy about what's going on behind me, feel free to check that video out. It will go up shortly after this one. And like I said, I do one a month for both Flosstube and for Quilter's Corner. So come say hi on my Quilter's Corner video if you want to. I would appreciate it. Okay, first things first. If you're new here, I start every video off with a reading update. The Pages and Stitches is representative of my third passion, which is reading. So I don't do a review of the books that I've read this past month, but I do like to show people what it is I've been reading. And then if you follow me on Instagram, I rate the books that I've been reading there. So then you can kind of get my opinion there. So first thing I read this month is this book here. This is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. This is the third book in this trilogy that she wrote. So this was the end of the trilogy. This was my first go around with Lucy Score and I love her. So I definitely recommend Lucy Score. Then I read A Curse of Queens by Amanda Bouchet. I don't know if it's Bouchet or Bouchet. I think it's Bouchet though. I don't know. Don't ask me. But anyways, this is number 4 of this series that she wrote. And then lastly, I read Leap of Faith by Cameron Hamilton and Lauren Speed. If you are not watching Love is Blind on Netflix, you are missing out, my friends. It's a reality dating show, and I'm obsessed with it. I would call it a guilty pleasure, but I don't feel guilty about it. In fact, I've gotten all of my coworkers hooked on the show too. Anyways, this couple was from the first season and they wrote a book about their experience and I love them. They are adorable and cute and this is the relationship that I aspire to one day. Okay, so as I mentioned, this past month, first weekend in October, I went to the Queen City Stitch Retreat in Charlotte, North Carolina. I posted a Flosstube extra that was all about the retreat. So if you want to watch that, that's going to be right before this video. And I went around the room and talked to everybody about what they're stitching and showed kind of little snippets of what happened during the retreat. But I did want to make sure I gave a special shout out today to Table 10, my girls. I love them. So we had Jenn A, who is the backcountry stitcher, Jenn B, Jenn W, Alma, who is the tattooed reading owl, and then Leah, who has just started a Flosstube channel. I'm so proud of her and I love it so much. She is the ink drinking stitcher. So I will have all of their Flosstubes, if they have a Flosstube, link down below. Jenn B and Jenn W don't have a Flosstube, but they do have Instagrams, so I will link their Instagrams down below. But they were an awesome group of ladies. It was just kind of coincidence that we all ended up together at the same table. And I had a great time with them. They were fabulous and I miss them already. So hi guys, hi Table 10. Okay, we do have quite a bit to get through today. So let's jump right into the stitching, shall we? Okay, so if you recall from my last video, I am not going to be working on a focus project through the end of the year because I have 3 whips that I came into 2023 with that I have not put my hands on at all. So I'm doing did one in October, doing one in November, one in December, and then I'll start January with my focus project and then just working through my rotation. So all that to say, the project that I brought out to work on was this one here. This is a dimensions kit called Frederick the Literate. If you want to see it completed, Jenn, the Backcountry Stitcher, has this project completed. In one of her first videos, she showed it off all framed and beautiful and lovely. But I did miss working on Lil Frederick, so I'm glad that I brought him out. Here is a picture of where you saw it the last time I worked on it. This is being stitched on a 14 count black Aida 2/1 full cross. The good thing about this kit is that it really doesn't have any specialty stitches. It's got some back stitching and then a couple of French knots, but no half crosses, believe it or not, and no like wild amounts of floss threads. So like there's no 6/1. It's 2/1. It's all 2/1. So if you are looking to do a dimensions kit, this one's a great one. It's pretty easy. All right, and here is where I am now. I went ahead and put him on my scroll frame. I had Ophelia on here last when I was beating her before the retreat, and she's all done. So now I have Fred on here. So last time you saw it, I stopped like right here at the edge of this book. So I just had a modest little progress update. I got this book and this book finished, and I started on his little butt. His little butt comes around here, and then his leg dangles over the edge. And then of course I expanded the bookshelves and a little bit up here. And then because this is the last book before there's a gap where he is, and there's like a little bird figurine and then more books over here, I just went ahead and did all the back stitching and the specialty threads and French knots and stuff. So yeah, just a little baby update. Not much on him, but that's okay. So he's going to go away for the rest of the year, and then I'll bring him out to work through my rotation when I start in January. The next project I worked on, I actually managed to finish right at the last minute. I was working on it last night before bed, before I filmed this video, because I wanted to hurry up and get it finished. I've been able to keep up with it so far this year, and I wanted to keep doing that. And that is this one here. This is Magical Creatures Calendar by Clouds Factory. And, oh, I should mention everything humanly possible that I can link down below, I will have linked down below. So Flosstubes, Instagrams, patterns, etc., websites, I'll have those down below, including this one. I got this on their Etsy, but they do have an independent website as well, so I'll link both of them. Here's where it was the last time you saw it. This is being stitched on a 16 count lilac Aida 2/1 full cross with all the called for colors, except I did add in a couple of colors of DMC Light Effect for a nice sparkle. And here is where it is now. So I completed that row down there where October is, and all that's left is the bottom row. Please ignore the stain on this side. Which is November and December. But yeah, looking good. I mentioned this last time, like I can't wait to give this thing a bath because it is filthy. I don't know how it got so dirty, but yeah, there's like a stain there. I don't know. Anyways, here's the October block, and it is so stinking cute. Got our little witchy girl, little haunted house, some bats, full moon, pumpkins, and then a little man-eater plant right there. Super cute. And the thing that I loved about this particular block extra is that it's got these pumpkins in it. So I got to stitch some pumpkins for Laura Stitching by the Shores birthday pumpkin stitch along. She's got a birthday in October and she wanted to do like a little themed project where people could participate, and so her theme was pumpkins. So look, Laura, I got 2 little guys just for you. Okay, so my light effects were added in the purple, which is here on the little witch, and a little bit in the house. Of course, the frame, and then the greens here where the grass and the plants and the pumpkin stems are. So yeah, that is October. November is going here, so I just gotta put that in there. It's November and December are 2 long short blocks, so this one is gonna go here. I'll show you what November is gonna look like. I believe it's fairies. Yeah, so November's little fairies. So this one will be what goes in next. So the next 2 projects that I worked on were actually both new starts. One of them was planned and one of them was a surprise. I just caught a wild hair and decided to start it. So hooray, one more whip. So the first one that I started was a planned start, and that's this project here. This is Snapdragon by Nora Corbett. And as you can see, I got Nora to sign it at the retreat. Isn't that fun? I love that. So this is my first like Nora Corbett, obviously not my first pattern by Nora Corbett, but this is the first one that's from the Nora Corbett line. And Paula from Stitching in High Heels has this pattern. And she had been thinking about starting it. She saw I was going to start it, so she reached out and was like, let's start it together at the retreat. So we did. Which is super exciting. I got to meet Paula in person. She is an absolute doll. And so I'm so pleased that we got to stitch this together, Paula, because that was super fun. I'm going to insert a picture. I took a picture with Paula at the end of the retreat with our starts and like the progress that we made. And it was just super fun. We got to wander around the room, obviously, during the retreat, and so we would go back and forth and kind of keep up with each other, and she's just an absolute sweetheart. So I'm grateful to have this memory with her. So let me show you my progress here. Please ignore the hoop marks. I just gave it like a basic iron. So I started in the middle, which was right about here. And then I worked down on her dress. This black bit here is the bottom of one of the wings. And this is being stitched on a 32 count Picture This Plus linen in the color Serene. And it's kind of getting washed out, but it's like a beautiful, like minty green color. Which I love purple and green together, especially this like minty color. So that I thought it was perfect for it. And of course I did it on this teeny tiny little piece of fabric because I just wanted a nice little small finish. And I got a good chunk done. I don't know that this is like an impressive amount to have gotten done at a retreat, but I am impressed with myself because I did a lot of wandering around and chit-chatting and shopping. So the fact that I had really any time to stitch was impressive. So once again, here she is. There's 2 beads and they are in the wings. Or like there's like a kind of coppery bronze around the edges of the wings, and then there's some purples in her dress and in her hair. So not much beading, and that project will fit basically inside that Nerge hoop that I use, maybe a little bit higher, but yeah, so you'll see her again when I start my rotation. So the next new start I did is I was flipping through some Just Cross Stitch magazines, saw some patterns, and I was like, I'm gonna start those because why not? You can't tell me not to, so I did. But I'm also making kind of like a Frankenstein Sampler-esque pattern, you'll see. So I pulled patterns from this issue here, which is the June 2023 issue, and then this one here, which is the October 2023 issue. Both of these magazines have 2 adorable patterns in them that have moths on them. If you're new here, you'll learn pretty quickly. I'm obsessed with moths, and I see them all the time out in nature, and I love photographing them, and I just think they're adorable little chubby fuzzy butterflies. They're so cute. Obviously I know they're not butterflies, but anyways, so there's moth patterns in each of these, and I decided I wanted to do both, so I just am gonna do them together. So the first one is this project here. This is called Dance in the Moonlight. And this has got a big Luna moth in the middle with some little fireflies. When I showed this pattern last time, I called them lightning bugs because that's what we call them in the South. They're they're fireflies. So it's got fireflies here, and then the little banners there, and it says Dance in the Moonlight, which is precious and adorable, and I think it's super cute. And then in the October issue, we have this pattern here called Starry Moth. And it's got this beautiful indigo blue purple moth with the moon spots on it. And it says the desire of the moth for the star. And I loved that one as well. And in fact, Laura from Stitching by the Shore called me out by name when she showed this magazine. When she bought it, she was like, Kelly, look, there's a moth. And I was like, well, I'm buying it. So I did. There's a ton of patterns in here that I really love, but this is one of them. So here's what I'm doing. I've got this little piece of fabric here. This is a 20 count Aida in the color Purple Passion, and I'm stitching it 1 over 1 full cross. So what I'm doing is, I took out the fireflies and I moved the Luna moth down. I've got this banner that's going in the middle. I'm going to take out the words and then move this banner down. And then I'm going to put the other moth below it and then repeat this banner at the bottom. And then if there's any negative space, I might, which there will be, I might put in the fireflies again, or there's like, you know, these stars around this moth. So I might do that. I don't know. I'll decide when I get to that point. First, I'm just getting the moths in. So I've got the banner in the middle with the little flowers, and then I started on the bottom of the Luna moth and I moved it down, like I said. So then the moon, it's probably going to be like here, the moon banner, because these wings go out, not up. So it'll probably be like there. And then the littler moth will go down here with the moon banner down there. Yeah? Do you see it? I see it. I see it in my head. So that's what I'm doing. I had a bunch of this leftover 20 count Purple Passion because I had started a project way back when, before I started my Flosstube, and then I ended up abandoning it because I was doing 2 over 1, which is a tight fit on a 20 count Aida, and it was really uncomfortable to stitch. I didn't like it. And then I found out later that the pattern, you know, this was before I was really educated. I found out later that the pattern was pirated, so I just abandoned the project. But then I had a bunch of this Aida left over, including this little cut. So I just put it on here, and I thought it was perfect for the moths because the color palette just kind of looks nice on it. So I started, I don't know, I guess I'm going to call it my moth sampler. It obviously doesn't have a name. It's a made up pattern, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. What do you think? Okay, so that was all my stitching that I have to show you this month. The rest of the video is going to be haul, which I have a good chunk of because I got a little carried away at retreat. And then we'll go over plans for the following month, November. So the first bit of haul I want to show you is some fabric, some beautiful, beautiful fabric that I got from my dear, dear friend, Amy of Fiber Arts Amy, who also was one of the hosts of the Queen City Stitch Retreat. She has started a fabric dyeing business, Oak Crown Studios. I will have everything possible for her linked down below. And she brought me some of my fabric that I ordered to the retreat. And it's beautiful and I love it. So this one, oh my gosh, it's so stunning. This is Haunted Mansion. This is a 32 count linen, and I got a fat quarter of it, so it's folded over. You can't see all of it, but I just love it. I love the purple. It's so pretty. And then this next one, she also called me out by name for this one because she said that the title reminded her of me, which it totally does. This is, oh, let me turn around. This is Mushroom Stew. And it is also a 32 count linen, and I'm so sad because it's actually not showing up the way it looks in person. So in camera, it looks kind of more neutral and brown. In person, it's like peachy, and the colors of the darker splotches are purple, not brown. Oh, I'm so sad that it's not showing up. Let me see if I can find. I don't know how to make it come across. Let me try something. So I'm gonna go through, it's kind of showing a little bit better up close. Yeah, you can see that's a little bit more purple. Let me go through my light settings here. Actually, here, let me find a better. Yeah, that one's more color. So right now it's like it's looking brown and yellow, and it's really, I think it has yellow in it, but it's really not that color. Let me see. I don't know. I do know that Amy just did a flip through of all of her fabric samples on her channel, so it's probably more closely represented to what it actually looks like there. I'll try to see if I can photograph it better. Regardless, those are the two fabrics that I got from Oak Crown Studios, which is wonderful. And she has a large selection of fabric types, and she just added more colors. And I know she's working on dyeing quilting fabric, so it's gonna be amazing. So I got those from her. The next fabrics I wanna show you, I got from Grace Notes Fabrics, which was the fabric vendor at the retreat. And they had a booth set up in the corner selling tons of stuff. And then of course I couldn't resist, so I walked over there and got some fabric. So first, I got this fat half of Raspberry Latte. This is a 28 count Lugana. And again, it's not really showing well. So it is a neutral, but it's like pink, which is why it's called Raspberry Latte. It's looking a little bit more brown. I don't know, maybe if I didn't wear a black sweatshirt, it would look better. I have no idea. I don't know how to do this, you guys. But this is Raspberry Latte. I got a big old chunk of it, so I'm going to be able to use it on a few patterns. And then I got another fat half of 25 count Lugana. This is called Pistachio Frappe. Again, it's a neutral, but it's got a slight, like it leans a little bit green, which is, I'm assuming, where pistachio comes from. It's looking a little tan yellow, but it's got the slightest undertone of like a limey green underneath it all, which I thought was so cool. And I don't have any 25 count in my stash, and I've been thinking of a couple of projects that I kind of want to try or put on 25 count, so I got a big fat half of this. So this next one is a fat quarter of an 18 count Ada, and it's called, it's called Allen, which is this lovely green. That's pretty true to color. It's actually maybe even a tinge brighter in person. But I love an 18 count Ada. 2/1 18 count Ada is my jam. And this was such a beautiful green, I couldn't pass it up. And then I also got another fat quarter of an 18 count Ada called Kenneth, which is a lovely taupey brown. Yeah, very pretty. And they were also selling like tiny little, little scraps of fabric, but they weren't really selling, I guess. I don't know. But on the, or maybe she was just feeling generous. But on the last day, Corinne went around and just passed them out to people for free. So they're just these tiny, teeny little snippets of fabric. And it was all different counts and colors and whatnot. This looks like a 14 count Ada with like this light baby pink modeling. Perfect for like a teeny tiny little ornament or a small. So I will save this for something little. Perfect. So the next, that was all the fabric I got. The next stuff that I have to show you is patterns that I won and then stuff I got off the freebie table. I'm very excited about all of it, especially since one of the patterns that I won has just gone into the newest, it's the newest inductee to the out of print patterns for Mira, and I have it. So that's really cool. So I want to show you this one first. So I won this one in one of the giveaways. This is Rose Celebration. So she is a looker, and she's 24 inches tall on a 32 count. Yeah, she's 2 feet tall. That's amazing to me that she will be that big. I met a stitcher. I believe her name is Angela. She had several patterns on the brag table that were all 1/1, and they were so beautiful. And in fact, she was working on a pattern at the retreat that was 1/1, and she did manage to put beads on it, but she had to go like find specialty like micro beads, or I think some of her beads were subbed for like a Krennic or a Petite Treasure braid. And I thought that was so genius because, you know, we all want to stitch all the Noras, but in the Miras, but we only have so much wall space, right? So by stitching it 1/1, she was cutting it in half at least, and I just thought that was genius. And they looked so good in person. They were just like tiny but super sparkly, and God, they look so good. So all that to say, she has inspired me to try doing some Miras and some Noras 1/1. So rather than having a 2 foot tall celebration, maybe I'll have a tinier one. That's 1 foot tall. And then the other pattern that I won in a giveaway is the one that just recently went into the out of print graveyard, which is this one here. This is Fairy Flora. And she's a looker. I love these flowers. I love the way Nora does flowers. Flowers are beautiful. She's a stunner. And she's a ginger. Who doesn't love a redhead? So I'm super glad to have her too. She is 20 inches tall, almost 2 feet. So I think I need to start trying the 1/1 thing. So the rest of the stuff I got off the freebie table, which I'm just amazed that some people give certain things away, because I just, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? So first I have this pattern here that came off the cover of Stony Creek Cross Stitch magazine. And it's this beautiful little poem about, what's it called? 3 Wise Women. It's about if the 3 wise men were actually women, which is hilarious. And it says, 3 wise women would have asked directions, arrived on time, helped deliver the baby, cleaned the stable, made a casserole, brought practical gifts, and there would be peace on earth. And it says in the corner, it says, author unknown. Bet you it was a woman though. So I read this and it just made me chuckle. I'm not a religious person, and I don't really do seasonal stitching either. I mean, I don't know if you could call this seasonal stitching, but obviously the birth of Jesus Christ is a Christmas theme. But I just could not pass up that border. First of all, the border is beautiful. And then when I read the words, it just made me chuckle. So I had to get it. I think that's super funny and cute. Next pattern I got, like some of these I just saw them and I couldn't stop laughing. And that includes this one here. This pattern is called Miss Mabel's Cat. And it's a cat. It's a cat with a Victorian hat, like a big giant poofy Victorian hat on it. Like what? Why? Who designed this? So I got it, and then my immediate thought was, I'm going to convert the cat from a white cat to a black cat because I have a black cat, and then do it on a different fabric. So if I ever put a hat like this on my cat, he would absolutely just slit my throat in my sleep. So this makes me chuckle. Oh, that's so funny. So the next thing I got came from a Thomas Kincaid kit, but the flosses are gone. I don't know if they were damaged or if they were used on another fabric, but it came with a printed fabric, so you can see the finished product. And then the the pattern is not full coverage entirely. It's mostly down here, and then the sky is kind of left open. So I don't know if I'll stitch it on this fabric, probably because the sky's left open and it's not stitched. But I just thought, first of all, I love Thomas Kincaid. His stuff is beautiful. So somebody left this and the pattern together. So I will have to source the threads, and the threads are not DMC, so I'll probably have to convert the whole thing, which will take a certain amount of effort. But when I'm ready to do that, I've got this pattern. And in addition to that Thomas Kincaid, there was this Thomas Kincaid, which does not have a printed fabric with it. It probably did when it was a kid, but it came with the pattern, which I have here, which is the same story. Like it's not DMC floss, but I can convert it just fine. But this one is full coverage. Everything is stitched, including the sky. So I can stitch this one on anything. The next thing I grabbed off the freebie table is this very old cross-stitching country crafts magazine. You may, if you've been with my channel for a while, you may recognize this stocking because I showed that my mother had stitched almost the full line of the heirloom Cooler Design Studio stockings for my family members, including this one. I think this one might even be the one she stitched for herself. So I got it for this pattern here, right here, because this pattern is stitched at my mom's house and has, I don't know how many years ago she did it, but I remember seeing this basically my whole life. So this pattern is at her house, and it's currently actually in the bathroom, the guest bathroom, on like a little shelf display thing. And so I see it every time I go over there. And so when I saw that that was actually a series and this one was there, which it has multiple meanings and sentimental values for me, because not only is it the series to the one that my mother stitched, but the backgrounds of all of these pictures are quilts. So how freaking cute. Oh my God, I love it. And I don't know why there's a random basket of eggs, but there's a random basket of eggs there. There's a basket in each picture. This one happens to have eggs. So I got it for this pattern, and I intend to stitch that. I'm already doing a companion piece for one of my mom's old stitches, which is a quilt themed pattern. And so now I'm gonna do another one. So the next thing I got is actually a little bit left of center for me, and I'll explain why it drew me in. I got this pattern here, which is the Antique Wedding Sampler by Cross My Heart. And the thing that drew me in was, of course, the border. Beautiful, stunning, lovely. Now, you may be thinking, Kelly, why did you get this? You don't stitch stuff like this. I know, but the border and everything around it is lovely. And so hear me out, follow me. Instead of doing this part, which has like the couple and wedding details, I don't know, anybody's getting married, I also have this book called Subversive Cross Stitch. 50 effing clever designs for your sassy side. So imagine seeing this beautiful, lovely, antique-looking sampler, and then upon closer inspection, it says something very subversive in here. I think that would be hilarious. Here's the back. It says, "Cheer up, loser." That would be hilarious in here. You've got the alphabet here, so I already have my alphabet for charting something subversive here. And I think that would just be so funny. Just like, oh, look at this beautiful, antique, lovely sampler. And then it says like something crass with full of cuss words and stuff in here. And I think that the juxtaposition, to me, makes me chuckle. I think that's hilarious. So that's my plan for this pattern and why I grabbed it. I also grabbed this little booklet of Four Seasons houses. I don't care for the borders necessarily around the houses, but I love the houses themselves. Those are super cute. I love this one too, especially. So I grabbed it just for the houses, and I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll do them in a line. Maybe I'll do them all in one fabric. I have no idea. But that's Four Seasons. And then I also grabbed this book, which is super cool. This is Treescapes, and it's multiple patterns, again, by Cross My Heart. This one makes me think of The Lion King with those colors. They're just beautiful, full coverage landscapes with trees. And then there's more in the back here. I love this wintry one. I don't know. They called to me, so I didn't ignore the call. The last little pattern that I got from the freebie table is actually a kit, and it is a very old Dimensions pattern called A Rose is a Rose, which makes me think of like Romeo and Juliet. And I love all the little like pictures broken up almost like little cards. So I think if when I get to this, I won't do the outside border, the line with the little flowers up here and the A Rose is a Rose. I like it with just the inside border. And I might even change that inside border pattern out for something a little bit prettier, like a different specialty stitch or something. But I do love all of these little roses. And the flosses are in there, but the fabric is gone, so that's okay. I can pick my own fabric. Okay, I just have a couple more things to show you. And then we'll sign off for this update. So while I was at the stitch retreat, of course, we had Nora there, and we had the opportunity to have her sign stuff for us. You can only have 2 things signed, otherwise she'd be, you know, autographing all day. So I had her sign my Snapdragon pattern, but I did also get, you'll appreciate this, I got her to sign Ophelia, like my actual cross stitch pattern. Isn't that great? Oh my God, I love it so much. I love this so much. So, as fate would have it, I did order a custom frame for her. It's arriving the day after tomorrow. So she won't, unfortunately, obviously, be framed for this video. I like to frame myself. I don't trust big box stores to do it without messing it up, and I don't want to take it to like a framing shop because those are crazy expensive. So I frame it myself, and it's a process that I actually really enjoy. And according to my brother, who's a professional framer, I'm pretty good at it. He works in Colorado and I'm in Texas. So if you're wondering why I don't send my stuff to him, that's why. Also, he's very expensive. Anyways, so she will be framed before the next update. So if you want to see her fully finished, come back for my November update, which I'm super excited about. So I got Nora's signature on there. And then I do have to say, she got on to me for not putting my initials on my project. I was like, oh, it's not my artwork. She goes, it's your stitching. It is your artwork. And I was like, oh, Nora, you angel. So she said that I should put my little, at least my initials here on the side, because I have my finish date up here and then my start date up here. So I can put I'll stitch my little initials right here next to Nora's name, and then the frame is big enough that it will show about this much of the fabric. So her signature will be right there featured in my fully finished project, which I'm so excited about. I also did want to share with you, so the stuff that I gave my table mates and then I gave to a couple other people around the room, I had made some project bags, some custom project bags for some ladies in mind, and then for, of course, my table mates. And I also included needle minders that I got from my favorite Etsy shop to buy needle minders from. And that's this one here. This is, the shop's called Flowertown Originals. Kathy is the creator. She makes stuff with clay crafting. So she makes needle minders, she makes magnets, she makes buttons, she makes Christmas ornaments, she makes trinket trays, she makes all sorts of stuff. And I have frequently bought from her because her needle minders, let me grab one. So her needle minders are amazing. This is one I just have sitting on my little needle binder holder that hasn't been attached to a project yet. But I love them because they're super duper strong. Amazing. Like, so it'll hold several needles super well. And then these I use, they're little hair clips, but I use them to help like hold my fabric out of the way. So they stick on there too. Like they'll hold my scissors. They're super strong. And so she makes clay for the back and then clay for the front. And she posts, so I'll post her Etsy down below. I'll post her Instagram as well, because she shows videos showing like her process of creation. And it's just like beautiful and stunning and amazing. So I wanted to give her shop a shout out because I did include those needle minders for the people at the retreat. And I advocate for her because I love her product so much. So I want to make sure I give her a shout out. When I reached out to her, I was like, hey, I know you sell these individually, but I need 12. Like, can I work with you for a bulk order? And she was like, oh yeah, absolutely. So we worked together. I just kind of gave her a creative license to do whatever she wanted, and I just needed 12 of them. And I can't say enough about how much I love her needle minders. So please go check out her Etsy shop. It will be linked down below. Okay, I just have one more thing to go over with you, which is my plans for next month, and then we'll sign off and say goodbye. So the next project that I'm pulling out of my stash to get my hands on this year before I start doing my rotation is this one here. This is Luna Mystica by Bella Filipina. Love her. Beautiful mermaid. You may recall, if you've been here before, that I am doing a hair and skin conversion on her. So she will be a black mermaid. It just kind of, the timeline worked out. It was totally unintentional, but the timeline worked out to where I started her like right before the new live action Disney Little Mermaid trailer came out. And so it was just like the stars aligned, like she was meant to be a black mermaid. So her name is Luna Mystica. I think of her as my Ariel because she looks like Halle Bailey from Disney's Little Mermaid. So anyways, this one will be coming out in November and we'll get to see more of her. I've missed her so much, so I'm so excited to be stitching on her again. And the next projects that I'm going to work on are 2 new starts. One is this one here. This is Come to the Garden by Teresa Kogut, and I'm so excited to start this one because I'm going to be stitching it with Beth, who is the Steadfast Stitcher. She was supposed to go to the Queen City Stitch Retreat, but she got sick right before and had to back out at the last minute. So I felt terrible for her because she couldn't be there. But I do appreciate that she was socially conscious enough to recognize that staying away from people when she's sick is more important than going to the retreat. So I do appreciate that you did that, Beth, even though I'm so sorry I didn't get to see you there. But we are going to be stitching this together. And I'm very excited about it. We're going to be starting it Thanksgiving weekend. And I'm doing a full conversion on this chart. So when I saw this, I actually won it in a giveaway on her channel, which was super exciting. But the moth here caught my eye, and it made me think that this should be a nighttime scene, right? Because moths are nocturnal, right? So I'm doing a full conversion on this. It's going to be done on like a darker blue fabric. And then all of the colors, I'll share with you my conversion for next the next video, but all of the colors are going to be like purples, pinks, and like silvers instead of the reds and greens and golds. So I'm very excited. Beth, I hope you like what I've done with the pattern. And then the other planned start that I have for this coming month, excuse me, is Marty Bell's Enticing. This is a full coverage pattern. It's just like a little snippet of Marty Bell's Enticing. This is by Jeanette Cruz Designs, or charted by Jeanette Cruz Designs. And it's beautiful and stunning. Now I have this kitted up, and it's going to be stitched on an 18 count. So it's going to be like, this is almost true to size what it's going to look like. The real one will probably be like a little bit bigger, but it's going to be tiny. And that makes me laugh because of all of my whips, this is one that has the most colors. It has 79 colors. Which is amazing. Anybody who's done like Hades is like 79, whatever. But I don't stitch Hades. I think they're large and intimidating and time consuming, and I just don't want to. So this is the most color intense full coverage that I'm doing. So I'm kind of thankful that it's tiny, but I think it's beautiful. And I got this teeny tiny little guy, little kitty cat waiting to come inside. Love him. And then I got to show you the back. These are other Jeanette Cruz Designs patterns that I'm just like, so pretty. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this reflection. Oh my God. Look at this beautiful lady. I don't remember where I got this. I think I got it on Everything Cross Stitch. First, like it was on sale. Maybe it was 1-2-3 Stitch. I don't remember. I will have it linked down below. It says that there's a website, which is JeanetteCruz.com. So if that website still exists, I'll have that below too. But these are, oh my God, they're so beautiful. Look at this on the bench here. Look at this teeny tiny little teddy bear. Amazing. So this will be started in November, which you will see next month. Okay, I got it all out. That's everything. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with me. That is everything I have to share with you this month, which I know was not a lot of stitching, a lot of haul, and a lot of talking. So thank you so much for sticking with me this long. So until next month, at the end of November, I hope you guys have a lot of creative, stitchy, relaxing time. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you have a wonderful time with your families. If you celebrate Halloween, I hope you have a wonderful time this evening, and everybody's safe and everybody's happy, and nobody has any travel issues. I'm putting that out into the universe, and I wish all of you all the best. Again, thank you so much for being here with me today, and I will catch up with you guys again at the end of November. Bye.